All right, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Tyler's Golem, and we are at it again with Psychic Pokemon. You know I love my Psychic Pokemon. We've got Dawn, Wings, and Crosman. We've got Giratina EX, and we got the 1-2 punch with Dawn. I think Dawn is a very strong card with Giratina. I think every Giratina deck should seriously consider Dawn. And on top of that, we've got the Mew package with Mew EX. Of course, I use the Crown Rare version. And Budding Expeditioner, I'm only going to run one copy of this card. I think it's great, and I think it's great as a one copy. The other include that I have here is Mythical Slab. I think Mythical Slab is a very interesting inclusion because it synergizes with the Psychic Pokemon, and I'm going to try 2 copies of it because it does thin out your deck a little bit. If you have a Psychic Pokemon on top of your deck, then it's really good. And we run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Psychic Pokemon. So let's put this into a game. Let's see how we do. Maybe we'll try a couple of games here because I do want to see if this deck is good enough for possibly ranked. Let's go ahead and switch over to Psychic. And yeah, let's see how we do. We also run Mewtwo. I decided to go with the Crown Rare Mew and then Mewtwo and then the Shiny Mewtwo. I like the Shiny Mewtwo. It's very good. In fact, I really only needed one Crown Rare Mewtwo. I didn't really feel like I needed a second one because of the fact that I would probably be using the Shiny Mewtwo anyway. But it is nice to have the option to use shiny 2 Crown Mewtwo's if I wanted to. So this is interesting. I think I'm going to lead off with Mewtwo. It's not necessarily the best, because ideally I'd like to have Giratina, but we can probably find a Giratina off of Professor's Research. Let's see how we do here. Okay, so there's 3 chances for us to find Giratina. There we go. And let's see if we can get a Dawn off of this Professor's Research. There's Leaf. Okay. Well, we can also use Mythical Slab here, and that'll help thin out our deck. Let's put that... Oh, we can't even put that on the bottom. Okay, that's fine. Well, we don't really care if it's at the bottom or not. But we did just thin out our deck a lot. Now we've got 10 cards. So we got 1 out of 5 chance of finding our Dawn. And yeah, let's go ahead and just bench this Mew EX. I think this Mew EX is going to be worth trying out. And then we're going to Broken Space Battle. I think that was a very strong turn 1. Our opponent's going to go next, and let's see what they do. They're probably going to attack the Mewtwo EX. If we can find a way to Dawn our energy from Giratina EX, we can deal a very healthy 50 damage to the Tapu Koko. Alternatively, we could Leaf into Dawn Wings Necrozma and end the turn with Giratina EX. That might be another option here because that way we can deal 100 damage next turn instead of just doing 50 this turn. We'll see. So yeah, they're going to be able to deal 90 damage next turn anyway. So the question is, do I want to allow them to deal 90 damage to my Mewtwo EX, or you know, it's a tough call. Well, we're not going to be able to Dawn, unfortunately, but let's go ahead and thin out our deck with Pokeball. Yeah, I guess we could just sponge the damage with Mewtwo EX. Let's just Professor's Research. I want to see what we can get out of this. All right, well, we did get the Dawn. Unfortunately, it was a little too late. So, we could Psy-Shot with Mew EX and try to do that. I don't know if I necessarily want to... I don't know if I agree with putting energy on Mewtwo EX if it's just going to get knocked out very quickly. I don't think that... yeah, I don't think Mewtwo EX is going to be able to sustain itself for very long. So let's just put an energy onto our Giratina EX and see how far we get here. Alright, they're going to red card us, which is fine. We got the Budding Expeditioner. And they're going to deal a lot of damage here. If we can find a way to... You know, if we can get a leaf, that would be great. Nope. Okay, so let's just... let's put an energy on... I've accepted the fact that Mewtwo EX is going to lose. I say we hold off on Dawning for now. And we'll just accept the Mewtwo fate and end the turn, I guess. Yeah, we're going to have to accept Mewtwo's fate here. Ideally, if we had led with a Mew EX, which I know is not possible this game, but if we could have led with Mew EX, we could have Budding Expeditionered and sponged a lot of damage. It would have been really nice. Maybe I play 2 Budding Expeditioners since I'm already on 2 Mews. We'll see. I mean, unfortunately, Budding Expeditioner is specific to Mew EX and not a regular Mew. Because otherwise, we could have considered playing regular Mew. But I don't think the regular Mew is that good either, the non-EX version. I think it only does like 20 damage for 1 energy, and like you look at your opponent's hand or something like that. I don't really know. If it does look at your opponent's hand, that's pretty strong, actually. Because then you can play around it. I got to look back and see what it does. But either way, it doesn't matter because Budding Expeditioner only applies to the Mew EX. Oh, they're gonna ask me to switch? Why do that? Why are they asking me to... I guess that's great for me, actually. Because I get to do that. I get to bring out my Mew EX, take a bunch of damage, and then a Budding Expeditioner. Why did they do that? That's a little weird. If I were them, I would have just knocked out the Mewtwo EX. Oh, well, now I get a free turn, I guess. I'm not going to complain about that. All right, well, we're going to sponge this damage, and we're going to return our Mew EX. Let's bring out Giratina. And, I guess we can... I guess we should put our Mew EX back into the battlefield, in the bench. Yeah, and then we can just... I guess we just put an energy on the Mew EX. If we want to, we could use genome hacking. We could deal a lot of damage that way. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they did that. Were they trying to lose? Maybe they were thinking they could Cyrus the Mewtwo EX. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking. Well, we'll take the W there. Let's see what we can do now. I'm going to send a thanks to Soda. And let's play another match. I think this deck is pretty good, though, even though we probably... I don't know if we would have lost that for sure, but... I think that would have been a closer game if they didn't use Repel. They probably weren't expecting me to use Budding Expeditioner. But I think this deck has legs. I don't know. Alright, so we've got Mythical Slab. We've got Professor's Research. We've got a really good chance of getting our Giratina. And once we get Giratina, we could potentially just Dawn next turn and then... Oh, we are going first, so that does make things complicated. Going first is good if your active Pokemon has 2 energy moves, because then you could just attack next turn by donning the Giratina EX energy. Going second is good if you have a 3 energy attack like Dawn Wings Necrozma, where you can just, if you're going second, you are able to put an energy on the Necrozma and end the turn with Giratina. Wait, what? All right, we're undefeated with this deck for whatever reason. We'll take it. We'll take it. We'll take the W. It seems like when you're not playing ranked, people take the games less seriously. I don't know. I think it's still fun to play these, you know, no strings attached, nothing to lose games. I do enjoy playing the game casually like this. But we're going to go ahead and get into another match here. Let's see if we can actually have some fun gameplay. All right, so this hand is decent. I guess we'll start off with Mew EX. And let's bench the Giratina EX in case our opponent does something. I don't know. We're going first anyway. All right, so maybe benching was not the best idea, but we are going to be able to do some good here. Actually, it makes sense here. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe we Pokeball first. I was going to say maybe it makes sense to Mythical Slab. But then if we did that, we wouldn't be able to benefit off of the fact that the non-psychic Pokemon will be put in the bottom of the deck, if that makes any sense. All right, so that's going to go in the bottom, unfortunately. Let's Professor's Research. I don't really know what we're digging for, but unfortunately, we probably should have led with Professor's Research. Let's put on our Rocky Helmets to kind of deter our Pheromosa from dealing damage. Okay, well, there's Mewtwo EX. You know what? They're going to probably use Jump Blues anyway, so we're just going to bench our Pokemon and then just end the turn here, I think. We really needed that Dawn, but at least we shuffled the deck. There's a good chance we might find it again. We got 1 out of 5 chance, actually more with the Professor's Research. We have like probably about a 50% chance to get it, I think. I don't know how the math works when there's 2 of the targets in the deck and you have a Professor's Research. I don't know what the math comes out to, but either way, we're probably not going to be able to use Dawn this turn anyway, which is fine because, you know, we've got Mew EX in our active spot. Psyshot is a good attack. It's just it's a basic attack. Nice. So our Pheromosa is going to take some damage here, which is good. Free damage is always free. It's always good. Okay, so let's just Professor's Research here. Hopefully we can get something good. Leaf, I'll take, I guess. Not the best. And do I want to even bother attacking here? Is it better to just put energy on Giratina? I think it's better to just put energy on Giratina here. Honestly, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't seem like using Psyshot in place of just putting a free energy on Giratina is that much better. This is not turning out to be too good for us. The other thing about Psychic decks, at least this Psychic deck, is that all of our Pokemon are weak to Dark. So we unilaterally have a shared weakness. I'm sure there are Psychic Pokemon that are not weak to Dark, because, you know, that makes this game more variable and more interesting. The other thing I will accept is a Budding Expeditioner. But I'm fine with how things are right now. Okay, we get to use Dawn here. I guess we can Dawn... I don't even know if that's good. I don't even know if that's good. Because that's putting a lot of energy on Mew EX, which is probably going to... we might end up losing anyway. I say we put an energy on Dawn Wings Necrozma. Oh, actually, you know what we can do? We can put an energy on Mewtwo EX, switch here, and then Dawn the energy from Giratina. That might be pretty decent. Because now we get to knock out the Pheromosa with Psychic Sphere. I don't know if this is going to be good. This might be a little bit risky because they most definitely have Lucamine. So they're probably going to get to use Big Beat here. I'm not too excited about this. Yeah, I saw a Lucamine coming a mile away. What we could do is we could try to finding the other Dawn, and I don't know. Unfortunately, they have everything they need to do that again. I don't know. Do we have red? I forgot if we had red in this deck. Well, either way, let's Mythical Slab. Okay, Sabrina's not very helpful anyway, so that would have been not good. I guess we just try to power out energy onto Giratina. But it seems like we're going to lose this Giratina anyway. Maybe that was not the best idea. I don't know. It seems like we were going to lose this game anyway, but I think we might have had a better shot if we had leafed. No, we were going to lose anyway. We absolutely needed Giratina in the active spot because Buzzwole would have knocked out any of these Pokemon anyway. They have 2 Celesteelas, which means they can just keep using Big Beat again and again. So, yeah, not looking too great for us. Let's see if they can figure it out. They probably know that they can just switch out into Buzzwole again. And if they do that, then I think I just lose. Unless I can find... I don't know, if I can find... well, it wouldn't matter either way because we... Oh, they didn't switch out into Buzzwole. Interesting. You know what, though? We would lose anyway because the Buzzwole would attack us. And we're taking recoil damage from Giratina. Yeah, I think this is probably just GG. We'll concede. I think that we were going to lose this game because of the Buzzwole. If we had gotten the Sabrina, maybe there was a chance, but then they would just bring out Buzzwole anyway. Because, you know, we only had 1 point there. So, anyway, we are 2-1 technically. We're going to go ahead and see if we can get into another game here. Wow, 4 games in a row. That's more than I've ever done in a single video. Okay, we're playing against a decent opponent here. Ultra Ball player, I think. All right, so not bad here. If we can get this is a decent opener. Maybe what I need to do here is, so we're going to go second. Let's bench. Oh, maybe that was a mistake. I keep forgetting that we're facing a Leaf deck, and I end up doing this. Oh, not Pheromosa. Okay. Never mind then. 2 Mythical Slabs. This might be risky. Mythical Slab is kind of a risky card because what I've noticed is that if we have a card that we really need and it's on top of our deck and it's not a Psychic Pokemon, then Mythical Slab ends up screwing us because we lose that card. So maybe I shouldn't be playing Mythical Slab. Maybe that's a bad idea. Yeah, like we just lost the Professor's Research, which arguably is a card that we actually need. Well, we do get Mewtwo EX here, which is nice. I don't know. If we had gotten the Professor's Research on top of our deck, it would have been good anyway, because we would have been able to look at the top 2 cards. But at least this way we can play Dawn if it's on the top of our deck, right? Because if we were going to draw Dawn off of the Professor's Research, okay, so we're going to just put Pokeball here. We're not getting our trainers, unfortunately, but yeah, I don't know. We're not doing too great. Don't have a lot of options here other than to put energy on Dawn Wings and Crosmo. Hope we can get to the 3rd energy to deal 100 damage. Our opponent's probably going to evolve into Executor. But if it's Executor EX, it's only going to deal 80 damage at most. Oh, they're going to play this one. Oh, wow. What a move. Whew, we got lucky there. I had no idea that Alolan Executor was so good. Alright, so let's put an energy on Dawn Wings Necrozma. Save our Dawn for later. We kind of have to hope that our opponent... Yeah, actually, this Alolan Executor is kind of really good. We kind of have to hope that it misses next turn. Because otherwise, we just lose. We don't have an answer to it if we don't... Ooh, this is tough. Yeah, I mean, if it keeps hitting us, then that's not going to be great. Yeah, I don't know. This is kind of bad. We kind of have to use Dawn here. I think Mewtwo EX is our best shot here. Because if we can Dawn... I mean, if they attack us and they win the coin flip, then we lose anyway. There's nothing in our deck that can survive Tropical Hammer, which is crazy. I think our opponent just solved the metagame. I mean, this isn't the meta deck, but that's actually a pretty good tech right there. I mean, it comes down to a coin flip, but 3 energy for 150 damage? Wow. That's pretty strong. Oh, they're gonna... Okay, that's fine. Let's see what they do. Can they win the coin flip? Yep. Okay, that's GG. Wow, talk about a deck. Executor doing so much work right there. Alright, well, I don't really like ending the video on L. Let's see if we can play one more game. See if we can get a dubs. Send a thanks to our opponent here. All right, we're going to play one more game. No matter whether we win or lose, we'll end it because this video is kind of long. But we are, I guess technically we're 2-2, so this is going to be like a tiebreaker game for us. I don't know. I think Mewtwo is good, but maybe it's a liability. All right, this is actually exactly what we need. Budding Expeditioner, Dawn, Leaf. We got everything we need for a successful start. We can use... So what we can do is... Oh, we're going second? That's even better. Because we can put an energy on Mew EX. End the turn with Giratina EX. Next turn, put an energy on Mew EX. Dawn that energy from Giratina for our third energy. Use Genome Attacking. By the time we do that, maybe they would have evolved Rowlet. We'll see. I forgot what the third evolution does. But anyway, let's see here. Actually, do we want to just Budding Expeditioner now? And then maybe Dawn next turn for 100 damage? Maybe that's the play. Yeah, let's Budding Expeditioner here. I think that's better than trying to keep Mew EX active. Because now we can Dawn next turn. And maybe just hold on to Mew EX for now. We don't really need to play it. If they're going to attack Giratina EX, they were going to do that anyway. No reason to give them more options. Next turn we can use Dawn. They're probably going to rare candy here. They've got 6 cards in hand. It's very, very likely that they will. How many cards? They have 10 cards in their deck. Yeah, they've got like almost half their deck in their hand. Alright, this is good. All they did is attack us. Let's use Dawn here. And then let's attack with Psycho Billy. Pretty strong start. Dawn Wings Necrozma obviously doing work. I think that we can tweak this deck a little bit so that maybe we take out the Mew and Mewtwo package. It is a pretty good deck. I think we gotta fine tune this deck a little bit more. So that's gonna be a wrap, folks. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna maybe tune this deck a little more, see if we can get a very decent, strong Psychic deck for ranked. But anyway, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.